Good morning and welcome back to the Urban Preparedness Program. I am your host, the Urban Cockroach. Today's video is actually by request. I had a number of people ask me what sorts of preps I keep in my bug-out vehicle. Well, to answer that question at the moment, my bug-out vehicle is not finished. It's currently a working project, and those videos are actually going to be on this channel as soon as they're finished. It's going to be a multi-video series called Upgrading the Beast, or the War Machine. I haven't decided what we're going to call her yet. But for now, I will show you the items that I keep inside of my vehicle, because just because I haven't finished the project doesn't mean I won't have to use that vehicle to bug out sometime in the near future. So I will show you the types of preps that I keep in the truck now, and as we complete all of the amenities that we're going to eventually do to this machine, I will post videos of all of the different upgrades and why we chose to add those upgrades. So for now, let's take you back outside and show you what we're working with. Alright, so here we are back outside with the Beast. Down here I've got my truck box. This is all the things I keep in my truck. First aid kit. I know you saw them on the wall in the war room. They're all over my house. You need to have first aid kits close enough for you to reach out and grab it in every room of your house. You never know when you're going to get injured, and nothing is harder to find when you're bleeding than your first aid kit. Now, in my truck box, I keep this portable handheld CB radio. You're driving down the freeway, you can communicate with truckers with it. Actually, quite a few people will let you know where the police are at driving down the freeway as well. And it's not illegal, unlike the hundreds of scanners that you can plug into your cigarette lighter that tells you when there's cars being scanned down the freeway, which is illegal in most states. However, a truck driver on a CB radio telling you that there's Smokies somewhere on I-75 north of Knoxville, not a crime, but it is a convenient thing to know. You can also communicate with truckers on a lot of other things. They'll tell you where congestion is on the freeway, and that helps you plan your escape routes. They'll tell you if there's civil unrest in the next town coming up ahead. There are a lot of good reasons to have yourself a portable CB radio, so I keep one right here in my truck kit. This is an empty emergency get-home bag. It's an empty bag because I have more than enough supplies in my truck box to get me home, but I'm not going to take all of those things with me. So if the truck flips over, I need to escape, anything like that, I'm going to pull this box out of my truck. Then I'm going to decide, based on where I am and how far I am from home, what equipment I need to put into my bag to make it that distance. Because if you have 70 pounds of gear in your bag, you don't want to have to carry that 40 miles. You might only want to take your water and 1 day's worth of food. You might only want to take medical supplies and a little bit of water. It all depends on where you get stranded and how much gear you personally need to get somewhere safe from that location. You don't need to carry a full supply with an axe and a crowbar and bolt cutters in your emergency grab bag just because you got a flat tire on the side of the road. But if you're 10 miles from nowhere and you don't have any money on you, so you can't run down to the store and grab something really quick, what you can do is stuff a couple days worth of food and water in your bag and use left leg, right leg, and walk your way all the way home. Meals ready to eat. Those are self-explanatory. I have a ton of them in here. Here's a big one. Orion emergency road flares. I keep these in all of my vehicles. Actually, I got these at Advanced Auto Parts and Batteries. I think I paid $6.99 for this pack. I've gotten them at Napa. I've gotten them at O'Reilly's. I've gotten them in a bunch of other places, but I don't know how much I paid for them there. I got these particular pack from Advanced Auto Parts and Batteries because it's still got the sticker tag on there, so I know where it came from. warming layer, face and neck gaiter. That's pretty self-explanatory. You end up somewhere on the side of the road and it's cold outside. You need something to stay warm. The same thing with this wool hat. Wool gloves. Extra set of jersey gloves because you never know. And this here beautiful Patagonia jacket. I got this from a good friend of mine when I was a reservist. I was working on ADOS orders for Marine Special Operations Command, and they got all sorts of awesome, they called it gray gear equipment, where companies like Patagonia would give them things and be like, hey, this would be great. Most of the time they keep it for themselves or they give it out, which is how I got this. A really good friend of mine's a team guy. He gave me this Patagonia jacket, and now it lives in my truck. This is probably the best piece of equipment that I have in my truck, bar none. This is an up-to-date Rand McNally Atlas Road Guide for truckers. This has every important road in the country. There is nowhere in the United States you can't get to with a good Rand McNally Road Atlas. It's by far the most used piece of equipment that I keep in my truck box. Yeah, that's it's an old Boy Scout mess kit. This one I think I paid $6 for. I got it at Walmart. Why do I have it? That's simple. If I'm stuck on the side of the road somewhere, I don't want to eat cold MREs. I don't want to eat MREs that I heated up with an MRE heater, because everybody knows boiled food to warm it up does not taste that great. However, even an MRE tastes decent when cooked over an open flame. Trust me, I've done it a million times, and yes, they taste better. Water bottle, life straws, lots of bottled water. I have tons and tons of bottled water. This one's actually a really nice piece of equipment. I've got that fancy mess kit down there, but unless you want to stick that mess kit directly in the fire, you're going to want to have something like this. This is actually an assemblable barbecue grill inside of a pipe. I like this for two reasons. When I need it as a stove, it's a stove. When I need it as a Be Good stick, it works great as a Be Good stick. For those of you that don't know what that is, it's something to mollywop someone with if you absolutely have to. I've got an axe. Again, obvious reasons. You get stuck in the mud, things of that sort. You cut down a couple of branches, you shove those branches underneath your tire, chances are you're going to crawl out. However, this particular Nissan Xterra is four-wheel drive. I have yet to ever get it stuck in anything, but I do have the axe just in case. Flashlight for seeing, though I almost never use them. 550 cord. I can almost not express enough how much 550 cord I have used in my lifetime between the Marine Corps, overseas contracting, or just random stuff around the house. 550 cord is almost as exciting as duct tape. And yes, I've got some duct tape in here too. It's inside my medical box actually, because I use it for emergency bandages. Another roadside emergency kit. There's actually a whole nother one inside the truck, because Nissan Xterras came with a first aid emergency kit that was attached to the inside of the back door. It's still back there. I'm not going to pull it out. It's just got random bandages, other silly stuff like that in there. This is a wind-up weather band radio. Even if my battery dies in my truck and I'm stranded on the side of the road somewhere, before I get out of my truck, grab my bug-out bag and start walking home, I need to know for a fact that there's not hurricane something or other rolling up the coast. There's not an extreme flash flood warning. There's not a crazy thunderstorm warning, anything like that in effect, because if there is, I'm going to spend the night in the beast here. I'll spend the night in the truck. After the storm passes, then I'll get going. But I only know that because I have this emergency weather band radio. This is a Gerber multi-tool. Actually, this one's the Engineer EOD multi-tool. I got this one in the Marine Corps. It's got the little C4 punch on the bottom of it. If you're not working with military-grade explosives, you'll probably never use that C4 punch for anything ever, but it does have a screwdriver, a flathead, a Phillips. It's got a file in it. It's got needle nose pliers. I mean, it's got a blasting cap crimper on it too, but again, unless you're dealing with military-grade explosives, you're probably never going to use that crimper. It's got wire cutters and a bunch of other fancy little doodads on it, so I never go anywhere without one of these. There's one in my truck, there's another one in my other vehicle as well. Extra magazines, fully loaded. A bag of ammo in case the fully loaded magazines miraculously end up running dry. There was a time when I didn't think it was important to have more than 3 full mags. That was before people started rioting 200, 300, 400 deep. And this, well, this is my lazy boy right here. This is a Garmin Fortrex 301 portable GPS device. It uses AAA batteries. You strap it on your wrist. It works just like a watch. And all of your pre-designated grid coordinate points show up on the little LED screen here. I use this for finding all of the geocached boxes I have stashed literally all over this state and quite a few places around the country that I would have a difficult time finding again without this wrist Garmin. Yes, I can find it using land navigation skills with some of my GRG maps and a compass. However, again, a lazy prepper is a smart prepper. Why would you pull out a map and take the next 3 hours to plot out your traveling when you can just press the power button on your Garmin and get there in 5 minutes? I get it. If the GPS goes out, the satellite disappears, this Garmin's not going to work anymore. However, while the satellite works just fine, I'm going to continue to use my Garmin. Now, there's a couple of other small things that I have in there that I'm not going to pull out, like my truck gun. I'm not going to pull out my trunk rifle. I'm not going to pull out the extra bits of food because you've already seen my examples of food, but I will pull out 2 other important pieces of equipment. I guess we'll go with 3. This is my fire starter bag. I've got a ferroceram rod in there. I've got some petroleum jelly, which burns really, really well. I've got a magnesium fire starter. But I like to keep it simple, just like with my wrist Garmin. I have 3 Bic lighters of bright assorted colors inside my bag. Why do I have Bic lighters in all of my bags? Well, that's simple. Every once in a while, I don't want to use a friction fire. Every once in a while, I don't want to use a ferroceram rod because my hands are cold and I want to get it done right now. As you can tell by the fact the orange one didn't light, but the green one did, it's always important to have 2 or 3 lying around just in case. These are trauma shears. I didn't realize just how important these things can be until I was in the Marine Corps and I watched exactly how many things you can cut up with these trauma shears. I've watched corpsmen strip a man completely naked in like less than 5 seconds with trauma shears in order to access bullet wounds. I've seen them used to cut zip ties. I've seen them used to cut comm wire. You can use these for a lot. They will literally cut through almost anything. This is an emergency rescue blanket. Translate that into English. It's folded up aluminum foil that doesn't rip when you unfold it most of the time. Why that's important is it's highly reflective. In the wintertime, you get super cold, you are amazed at just how warm you can keep yourself if you wrap yourself up in an emergency rescue blanket. So I keep one in there, even though chances are I'll probably never wear it, but there it is just in case. And that's about it, because everything else I keep on my person, so it's not exactly included in my truck. Alright, so here we are back in the war room. That was everything that I keep in my truck box. Now I keep it in that tough box so I can swap it between vehicles. It's significantly easier than having multiple kits for multiple vehicles. So it's cheaper this way, and it's easier for me to know exactly what's in the kit because I just used that one kit for every vehicle no matter which way I take it. Now I hope you liked my video. If you did like my video, make sure you let me know that you liked my video by dropping down below, hitting like and subscribe. And if you have future ideas, you think there's something I could have done better or something I could have done worse that absolutely drove you crazy, make sure you drop it in the comments down below. I absolutely love making content for all of my viewers. You guys are absolutely fantastic, super supportive crowd. Keep prepping. You're fantastic. We'll see you guys next time.